All right. So in our session, we are gonna introduce, Futee, Free TV to all of you folks. How does that sound to you, Deb?
Sounds fantastic. This is an exciting time for us, so let's do it.
Wonderful. So let's get our presentation ready here, and I hope you guys can see it. I think I can go into present mode, and it's going to be even better. So, hi, folks, and welcome to Futee Free TV. This is transition from Futures Television to our new Futee. This cute little guy in there that is waving at you is Futee Free TV. So we're transitioning from the traditional model. We still are television that we have a regularly program schedule, and so we broadcast 24 hours a day through Futures Television now. Fuji broadcasts 24 hours a day on Apple TV, Fire TV, and Roku TV, and now we are an app on Google Play Store and on via iOS on the Apple App Store. So this is a little bit of our story here. So the idea here is to introduce you our product, so Futee.tv. So we are a digital television channel. So again, I was just sharing with you. We used to be just a linear channel where you watch 24 hours of programming, which you still can. You can still watch whatever we decide. But being a digital television channel in the fast model, that's free advertising supported television. That means video on demand, but it doesn't cost you a dime. So it's free video on demand. So you watch whatever you want, whenever you want. So anything that you have and all of the shows plus all of the content is available again through all major, television platforms, Fire, Apple, and Roku, and as an app. So iOS for Apple devices and Google Play Store for all Android devices. So I want to share a little bit of our elevator pitch. So we do stream free films, original TV shows, and news and movie classics. And we tend to your personal professional interests as you discover unique business and health programs. So discover an entertainment experience that includes news, influencers, foreign content. It is education and entertainment in one place. So I'm gonna use Deb's words, edutainment. So this is
Yep.
about technology, entertainment, and education. Of course, we are in the process of growing, so we are looking to expand into new geographies, and we're gonna share a little bit about that. So this was, actually, Deb's idea. So how about, we had Fuji there, and Deb says, "Why don't you make this guy walk around and wave at people?"
He
So
has to have a personality.
I guess we love personalities, and it's so much fun when you have a partner such as Deb, who can think about it and okay, no, let's do this, let's do that, let's do some other things. So Deb is energetic, and I'm energetic. So we kind of got this footy guy going. I hope you guys like it. So let's go to the next slide. So so why do we do what we do? And I guess you probably heard a lot of people saying this throughout the day. So point out to people the problems that you solve. And in our case, we're looking to solve four different types of problems. So number one is the issue of fragmented content access. So we know usually have to get several different apps or several different channels or into several different kinds of platforms. Well, I like television, but I like movies. I like movies, but I like shows. Well, where can you find the influencers? What about the news? Well, but we are around people. So we, as a round person, what about educational programs, right? So you have to
Mhm.
go one here, one there. And so that's our value proposal here. So we created a single app. I mean, you can think of it as a television or as an app. So the idea is to eliminate the need for multiple subscriptions, right? And so it's trying to simplify your life instead of having five, six different apps to do five, six different things. We offer one app that can do five or six different things. So, Deb, why don't you address point number two?
Absolutely. We wanted to make sure that we again back to the edutainment concept of providing entertainment to people. So that was important. So that meant we needed to, identify, movies and films and TV shows that would be of interest to people. But we really understood that there was out there in the marketplace, there was a real lack of business education and career development resources. So, and so a lot of people would watch a, streaming service and be entertained. But people play, they're complex human beings, right? You have your personal life where you want to relax and you want to, you want to enjoy entertainment, but you also have a work life, a career life. And either you're, working in a job, maybe you're working in, a management position at a company, or you're an entrepreneur, a business owner. We were able to kind of gather the assets of our content, our educational and professional development content, and bring that to the platform. So so that you have it all in one place. So there's the entertainment component of it, but there's also the education component. So you may be watching a movie to relax, 1 minute, but you can stay within the platform and very quickly, click over and watch a television show or a health documentary, as an example. So you're kind of, feeding your professional development engine while you're also relaxing with your family. So that was something that was really important to us, and making sure that these programs were informational and educational, but also provided entertainment. So that's how the edutainment term kind of came into being. And then when we went to create the actual brand identity of this new platform, we wanted to incorporate the fact that this was, kind of the next, iteration or migration of Futures Television, which is the FUT, and then the double E, which stands for the education and entertainment content that's available on the platform. So we've got you covered. We believe, and it's not just the entertainment and the education. There's also access to news. There's access to influencer content. There's access to, you're part of our conference here, VC MEAX. We have a lot of thought leaders and experts in their field on business, health during these 4 days of our conference. And that content will be available on the platform as well. So we're really excited about it because it's really kind of a one-stop shop for content. And you could literally come and spend the day with us, and we would love to have you.
Wonderful. So the next thing is, well, entertainment costs quite a lot. So people, nickel and dime you to death, monthly fees and streaming services that charge you, they need your credit card. So that's called free. So free TV, that's because it's free. So the fast model, or free advertising support with television, that means you can access that content for free. So you don't have to pay a dime. So you don't have to sacrifice on quality or, in the number of options. But you don't have to pay out of pocket for that. Right. And the last point is Deb was mentioning. So now we concentrate the uniqueness that we offer. So the unique content. So we are actually going to our 5th global conference in October, right? And then on top of that, we have the health and wellness content, and then we have the entertainment aspects of what we do. But hey, wait, we also have the news, right? So we broadcast, the news stations, and you can access them again for free. That's Democracy Now! News Network. You got the news, you got entertainment, you got training, you get education, you got influencers, you get unique and original content, and again, you don't have to pay for that. So that's the kind of problem we solve, or problems we solve.
And there's one more, and there's more. There's always, we joke a lot about there, and there's more, and the more is that a lot of the content certainly is in English, but we do have a lot of programming in Spanish and in Portuguese. And as we expand, and because our conferences are global conferences, we're in many different parts of the world, we have we have channels that are dedicated to foreign languages, foreign language content. So that will be part of our expansion plan as well, as to continue doing that.
Wonderful. So let's talk a little bit about that. So in terms of the kind of content we offer. So again, most of our content is in English, right? And we're in the process of adding other languages.
There we go.
So, we see content in English, in Portuguese, in Spanish, and we do have our cultura, which is culture. That's our brand. So in cultura, we have our televisão. So that's television in Portuguese. We have Nuestra Televisión in Spanish, and then we have Televisión in French and Fernsehkanal in German. So we're in the process of expanding and adding more content. So we have influencers, and we have the specific original and unique content that's going to be available to you, and some of it already is available to you for free. So let's talk a little bit about so Culture is our brand, and let's talk a little bit about the expansion plans. So this is kind of our Futee's view of the world, I should say, right? So what you see in red first, so that's the English speaking countries, and that's where we already have followers and audience. So US and Canada, UK and Ireland, people in Nigeria, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, actually Singapore as well, and the Philippines. So those are the people who already come to the platform and watch us. So what you see the other colors, that means the different brands of Cultura. So right now, when in process of entering the Portuguese speaking market, so you see Brazil there in red, Angola, Mozambique, and Portugal. So we are adding, influencer content, news and movies and shows. So there are several television shows already, already on the channel, so on the station, and you can check it out. Then we have content in Spanish. So we're starting in the US, because there's 61 million Hispanics inside the United States. So it's an easy place to start. We have influencers from Mexico, and now we're adding Argentina, Colombia, Peru, and of course, Spain as well. Next, we're working on the launch for French and German. So German content for Germany, Switzerland, and Austria, and French mostly. We're starting on France and Belgium. So we keep adding new content. We keep adding different brands of culture. We keep adding languages. But again, the goal is to continuously expand. So if you are, say, sitting in the United States and you're curious about it, well, I want to learn Spanish. I can watch Spanish television. I want to learn Portuguese. I can watch Portuguese television. I want to learn German. I can watch German television. So the idea here is to give you options. So we think of ourselves as being like a supermarket. Sometimes you need cleaning supplies. Sometimes you need filet mignon. Sometimes you want fish, and sometimes you want, I don't know, Halloween decorations. So try to think about ways in which we can kind of dance. So we ask you guys what is that you want to watch, right? And then our duty here is to find what is that you want to watch. You want to be entertained, so we'll find ways to entertain you. Well, I want the news, so we'll keep you entertained and informed. And then you don't want to pay for it, so we have to find a way to make it all free. And then you say, well, I want content variety. So that's
and Halloween is coming up very, very soon here, right? So we'll have some content for Halloween, right? Some horror movies.
Yeah, we're going to have some surprises. So let's talk a little bit about our uniqueness. So let's focus on the uniqueness. So first and foremost, this is what Deb and I started doing at the very beginning. So one of our uniquenesses is business education, right? So you see the business education, and through our four brands. So we see Latinx, we see EuropeX, we see MEAX, which is this conference. We see APAX. So we are just finishing. We see MEAX, so Middle East and Africa, and that's this conference. And then in October, we are entering BRICS X Marketplace, so the extended BRICS Marketplace, and that conference is going to be a little bit different. So it's not just focused on entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship, but also we have a big component about trade.
Right.
So as we're saying today with Camille, so this is so trade is not about an or and a but it's an and. Right. So we're focusing on including people and finding new markets. And hey, you are from the BRICS countries and you want to sell your services and goods. Wonderful. You are not interested in doing business with them. Fantastic. And then, of course, we have people who are coming to the conference who are from Europe and from the US, from the UK, and they want to sell to them. So, and this is about inclusion and creating business opportunities. So that is, in essence, a trading conference
It
or a
is. It
trading
is.
conference.
Absolutely. So, I mean, if this is an opportunity for you, if you're considering global expansion, and putting something in your business plan that talks about growth through global expansion, and you're thinking about the BRICS trading bloc, any of the countries of the extended BRICS trading bloc, then you'll be able to come in and learn about those countries. We did learn this morning about Turkey and some of those opportunities. But this will go deeper into those opportunities. So it's about how to do business in these countries. So there's a real focus on the countries themselves, as well as on products and services that are being traded. And we also have working with traders on the products that they're selling. So it's really the development of a marketplace, bringing buyers and sellers together and providing you all with information that can help you determine what your expansion plans could look like, and that's really the intent here, is to provide that information for you.
So in addition to the conferences, we have in excess of 300 hours of unique business content. So, and not just in the conferences, but as you saw, for example, today we saw Arthur Weiss's masterclass. So we have those types of programs. So that's what Deb does. So the masterclasses, the courses, the seminars, the workshops, they are all available. So as we move on, we'll continue to add more hours. So every other month, basically, we add another 100 hours, 120 hours of unique business content. So think of it as, hey, it's a global economy. And if you are thinking, so today, or I'm sorry, yesterday we had a copywriter from Israel, and today we had someone from Turkey to talk about business development. So it's a global market. Perhaps your marketing person is going to be from France, and your competitive intelligence is from the UK, and your logistics is in Germany, and your social media expert is in the US. It's a global economy, and we're here to build community. So take advantage of the conferences. Again, the conferences are all free. So take advantage of the conferences. Use it for networking. Use it for discovering new information. So today we learned about AI tools, right? So lots of new information. Tomorrow we're going to learn more about other AI tools.
Right.
But again, it's the uniqueness of education, but with that business flavor. So the people who come to the conferences, and that's one point that that makes very clear, is this is about practical advice.
Right.
So we're not going to talk about the theory. You're going to hear about what is stuff that you can do, pick up today and use it today in your startup.
Exactly right. Because a lot of where the need here is to be able to implement what you're learning, right? So just one other point that I want to make too is that the conferences, the sessions are relatively short. And so you have an opportunity to listen to one of our speakers during the course of the 4-day conference. But if you want to learn more and take a deeper dive and learn how to implement or execute those strategies, then many of our speakers have created the deeper dive, the master classes. We heard from Arthur today, who kind of took us into a 2-hour master class, which is also available. And then there are the more even larger fundamentals courses, which are typically 4 hours of content. And that helps you understand, step by step, how to implement. So that's actually the training component, the step-by-step training. So wherever you are on that, if you just want to have a general understanding of the topic, listen to the speaker speak at the conference. You want to learn it a little bit more, then take one of the master classes. If you want to learn the how to step-by-step implementation, then the training courses are available to you as well. So the variety is very diverse. The content, the subject matter is very diverse, and then you have different ways of consuming that. Just general understanding or a deep dive, step-by-step training. Wherever you are on kind of that that knowledge or learning trail, we have something for you.
So I wanted to address the other uniqueness that we provide here. And so in this is health and wellness. So every time you go into Futee, right, you're gonna find a good variety of mostly American made, health and wellness content. What you see is documentaries, films, talk shows, physician generated content, for people of all ages. So if you tune in, of course, we have different types of channels, different types of documentaries. They cover a variety of topics. Soon we're going to show you, what the content looks like. But you have courses like you have, P2P, which is, the pregnancy course. Then we have documentaries that cover, health, a variety of health and wellness issues. So alternative treatments, cancer, radiation,
Pain
uh,
management,
pain management,
mhm, longevity.
eating, longevity,
Yeah,
sleeping, and stuff that perhaps we heard Michael saying we should sleep more. Well, we all need to
exactly.
sleep a little bit more.
Well, one thing too, I want to add to that, and Toby spoke about it in her remarks today about, about stress and anxiety and those things. And when we started doing this, and looking at the content and the conference programs, and building the agendas, we thought we really wanted to make sure there was a balance between the business education content and the health and wellness content, because we're all human beings, right? So we are running businesses, we're starting businesses, or we're in a corporate job, and we have to be take care of ourselves, right? And so that we can provide for our help our companies thrive and take care of our families. And so there was that real balance there and real focus on making sure we had the business and the health and the wellness. So I think, as if you come on board and come on our platform, it's free to consume the content. You'll see the diversity of that content. So we're really trying to give, a lot of support to those who want the business knowledge, but also want to be able to take care of themselves and their families. And we wanted to provide all of that. So that's really the intent here.
So when you come to think of it, so why do we mention those things? Our uniquenesses. One is business, and the other is health and wellness. But we have more business content and more health and wellness content than the major supplier of entertainment in the United States. Well, you're going to say, well, duh. Well, they don't play in this space. No, they don't. And that's why we're so special. It's our uniquenesses. Again, the business education, all the content that is created, and then the training, the workshops, the seminars, the courses, right, the conferences, that's unique to us. And then the health and wellness, well, we offer more. Again, they are not interested in this market, and we are. So we think of you and all of us as whole people. So yes, the business side of the person, and then the distinctiveness or the health and wellness that we all need to tend to. Actually, every other speaker today talked about stress one way or solopreneurs are another. So again, when you think about us, think about us as the uniquenesses we bring. So in terms of strategic goals, right? So we're looking for partners. We're growing. We're adding more distribution channels, right? So right now our audience is very U.S. centric. So it's an American company. It's an American platform and a television station. But we do have about almost 20% of our audience that is abroad, and we keep growing. And growing abroad is a bit of a challenge because you need a content in foreign languages. So that's why we're working, to add that specific that specific content. Now, when you think of it, and you saw we are in 5 different spaces. So the top or tier A televisions, and that's Apple TV, Roku TV, and Amazon Fire TV. But in addition to them, there are the other tiers of televisions. So they're called television set-up boxes or television sets, or you may have seen them as devices like the stick, like Roku is a stick. There are other kinds of sticks, and Apple is a box or a Apple TV device. There are other kinds of devices that are Android compatible, and that's where we are going. So in that space, you think of, so when you think about outside the United States, again, we're American company, so we tend to think about the 3: Roku, Apple, and fire. But abroad, so there are other device manufacturers and television manufacturers and telecom companies that have their own Android compatible devices, and that's where we're going. In many instances, they have more screens than or more screen space than all of the three combined here in the U.S. But again, this represents opportunity, and people are uh, interested in American produced content. So we have influencers, television shows. We're known for Americans are known for entrepreneurship and this, and so we offer this to the rest of the world, right? And they see that, and now we are in process of finding new distribution partners, and they are set-top boxes, television sets, TV devices, carriers, telecom carriers that can take our signal and distribute into their subscription base, basically. Now, this is kind of the end of the presentation, so I kind of want to change subjects a little bit, and I will stop sharing the presentation, and I want to give you a little bit of a taste. So let's start where we are. So I said we are a traditional or a linear television station. So I want to show a little bit of what that looks like, and then we're going to show you what is that the fast television model looks like. So let's start with the linear television. So let me show you a quick movie for us to, and then we're going to come back and talk about it. All right. So as you could see, linear programming. So what happens is in the morning or after midnight, we have movies and different kinds of entertainments, television shows, right? And then we run through the morning. And what you find in the morning? Well, you find lots of documentaries about nature, documentaries about health, and documentaries about wellness. And then we get into the afternoon. So our shows pick up. So the house shows pick up after 2 o'clock. So, and I'm talking about Pacific Standard Times. So I pick up at 2 o'clock. So Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays we have one set of shows, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays we have a different kind of sets. So, for example, let me cover the Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So we start with books and authors. So that is the book show on Futee or Futee Free TV. So who do we bring? Authors, book authors, and they are not necessarily just business or health and wellness, but a variety of different authors that have anything that is published. We look into it, and if it kind of falls into the categories we explore, hey, there's books and authors. And then at 3 p.m. We have our own Ask Deb About Business. So Deb, why don't you share a little bit about Ask Deb About Business?
Absolutely. So this is a television show where we invite subject matter experts on the show, experts in their field, and we have a conversation. And the thing that I love about the show is that the focus really is on practical information. We're really about sharing practical steps that you can take to implement or execute on a topic. So it's informative, it's an interview setting. And we have these conversations with these really smart people in business, health, and wellness, actually business for the business show. And we really talk about their area of expertise. It could be business planning. It could be social media marketing. It could be, the business, the legalities of business. You name it. We have these, wonderful experts. Many who speak at our conferences come on the show. Many of those folks also create master classes or online training courses, or they're book authors, or all of the above. And we talk with them and ask them to share their expertise with our audience. And so the premise really there is practical information. So to Rom's point, it's not conceptual, it's not theory, it's based upon their years and years and years of experience. And we all want to learn from those experts. So they've already, uncovered, they already know the best practices because they've done the work. And so we can all benefit by watching that show to learn from these experts. So that's the business show.
Wonderful. And right after that, we have the Cookbook podcast. So that is, and she was here yesterday, Iris Goldfeather, so it's all things marketing. So deploying your strategy, SEO, marketing, email marketing, dealing with the CRM, dealing with your customers, customer acquisition, conversion, etc. So that's basically our show. And right after that, we have GCTV. So GCTV is a very special type of program. So this is focused. It's created by a man who has a lot of experience in the international arena, so international public policy, international politics, geopolitics. So you have academics, politicians, researchers that come in and talk about big topics, so
Right.
international relations, how we relate to each other, trade conferences, and trade situations, but also about culture, international relations. So that's the focus of that show. And then we close at 6 with Reflections. So Reflections is our other house show, and Reflections is again about specific topics related to the US, or to special interests that we find here, or actualities, contemporary issues. Then we transition to the Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then the show is a little bit different. So the lineup starts with "It's Our Future" with Joyce. So Joyce, when she comes to the conference, sometimes she runs hair sessions as shows.
Mhm.
That's what she did today. So "It's Your Future" with Joyce Joy, Dubai City of the Future. And she actually has a different episode where she goes. Actually, she has two episodes on Dubai, one with Mads Wolf, the manager of the 25-hour hotel, which sits right across from the Museum of the Future, and then she has with the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center that is next to the hotel as well. Then Deb at 3 o'clock is Ask Deb about health, and what's that all about?
Absolutely. So that the health show, a similar format, and that we bring on health practitioners, medical doctors, nurses, healthcare practitioners, to talk about topics that are important to our audience. Things about like pain management, cancer, as an example, longevity, about healthy life, living a healthy life, things like that. Because again, it's we really want to provide this information that serves entire human beings, right? So your work life and your personal life, your family life. And so the health show is we bring these wonderful medical experts on to share their expertise with all of you. And I love it because we get a lot of great questions from our audience to help us understand what they want to learn about, what they want to know about. And we invite those guests on our show to share their expertise.
Wonderful. Right after that is In Focus. So In Focus is our house show done in association with WFSF, so the World Future Studies Federation. So, and you see that in our conference every day 4, you see a lot of futurists coming in. So again, that's kind of what we do. So we are about business intelligence, competitive intelligence, and futures. So we dedicate one entire day of each one of our conference to future studies, right? So future studies, futures literacy. Of course, WFSF is the premier academic futurist association, so we always bring their content. We have there are shows, and then at 5 o'clock is again GCTV, and going back to international relations. And at 6 o'clock we close the special shows with Unique Voices. So Unique Voices is actually run by Iris Goldfeather as well, and that show addresses issues of LGBTQ plus entrepreneurs. So their challenges, their triumphs, their accomplishments, and what they go through. So again, this is a place where we value diversity and inclusion. So we have a diverse line of shows, and so our shows, the house shows, run 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and then we have other shows that are very, very proud to show them. So you're gonna find a lot of them in our station. And then when we get into the evening hours, right, then we go back to showing documentaries. We talk about food, and then we talk about nature, and then after 8 p.m. we get into the movies again. So go back to movies, and we go through midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 a.m., and then that's the next day. So although this is interesting, and actually love, and Deb and I have excellent conversations about what's going to be the programming, what's going to be the lineup, and what kind of movies are we going to be showing, and people tell us, oh, I want to see more of this or less of that. So that's fun and interesting. But the other aspect of what we do is, and we realize, so at times you want that certainty, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 o'clock or at 4 o'clock. But how about you're in Central and not in Pacific, or you are in Eastern and not in Central? And then we started getting so many requests in terms of, well, your 6 o'clock Pacific is my 9 p.m. So it's too late for news. Why don't you run it a little earlier during the day? But then I got the opposite. Well, why are you showing the 6 o'clock news at 3 p.m.? You can't do that. How did we solve that problem? Well, Deb and I sat down and say, how about we do it whatever you want to watch, whenever you want to watch it, and wherever you want to watch it. And this way, I think we kind of tend to Greeks and Trojans at the same time. So why don't you I show you guys a little bit about that? So let me go into presentation mode, and let's present. So what you're going to see here is the tour of the back door. So we're going to show you what happens uh, behind the screen. So this is the way we manage the tool, of course. So we're not on telephone, so I can show you how the app looks on the phone, because we are sitting in the PC. So we are sitting in a different kind of media, but it looks especially like this and about the same. So what you see is we have a session that says live. That's where you can see what's running on the schedule, linear schedule television. But this is the part where it says video on demand, so you can choose. So start showing, the uniqueness of our programming. So this is the VC MEAX conference channel. So during the conference, Deb and I say we're simulcasting or simultaneously broadcasting lots of what you see in the conference. What that means, either you are joining us through Eventbrite, which is one gateway, or you're watching us live from one of the social media platforms. So we're live on YouTube, live on Facebook, Instagram. One more, Deb. What am I missing? Oh, LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, right.
Live on LinkedIn. Or you probably, so this is also because of the work that Deb does in terms of training. So we also broadcast via in the StreamYard. So we have, our seminars, and that's why we broadcast via StreamYard. So you can be watching on one platform, or on a social media platform, or on a television, or on an app, or through our StreamYard broadcasting system. And then what you see here is the conferences. Each conference has its channel. So, we have, as soon as they're done and as soon as the day is done, we start processing the videos, we save the videos, and then we start broadcasting them. So we have films from yesterday. So if you miss any one of the presentations from yesterday, you are going to find them. For example, Discover Theodore Africa. It was broadcast while they're talking, and it's available on demand. Again, on demand is a way of saying it's free, so you don't have to pay for any of it. So we have Tom Myers with his special on Futurize Your Health and Well-Being. You can watch it already there. Right. So we watched a Launchpad, Mastering Entrepreneurship Essentials. So we have several of those that are already available on video on demand. Deb, why don't you share with us a little bit about P2P, or pregnancy to parenting?
Absolutely. So the Pregnancy to Parenting is an online course that is all about helping prospective parents learn about their prenatal and postpartum journey, their journey to become parents. And it's an online training course. It's a very robust course, but we took the videos from the course and made them available here for free. So wherever you are, if you're thinking about becoming pregnant, or you are, or just delivered a baby, and maybe you want to learn how to, the important things to know about feeding your baby, sleep training your baby, how to introduce your baby to their siblings, the family dog, how to hire help, what the hospital visit looks like, how to deal with postpartum depression. It's a it's an opportunity for you to just sit and listen to experts. And we built the content working with over 1,000 babies and their parents and medical professionals who are literally educating you about everything you need to know. And those are beautiful lessons and videos to watch. And so that's those videos you'll see it here on the platform. It's called P2P, Pregnancy to Parenting.
And this is just the first module. There are actually 10 modules, right? So we're gonna go. There are 10 seasons to
absolutely month by month, because there are over 45 videos in total. So we're releasing them. We released module 1, which is the pregnancy module. So there are 4 videos that are available this month. And that really talks about the first trimester, the second trimester, the third trimester, and then what your rights are from a workforce standpoint if you're pregnant at work, or find out you're pregnant, what your rights are on the job. So those are the 4 videos that are available right now.
Wonderful. So moving on, so we do host film premieres, and we did one last week actually. So for the 11 Tomorrow. So this is a production from Text Tube from Australia, and this is a collection of different movies, and so they were filmed in the city of Brisbane, and Brisbane is going to be the seat of the 2032 Olympics. So it's their vision for 2032 for Brisbane into the future. So they deal with a variety of different topics associated with, the future of the city. So sustainability, what's going on in the city. I'm not going to share a lot because I want you to watch. They're wonderful movies. So every time there's a film festival and we partner with them, then we release, a batch of new films. They can be dramas, they can be comedy, they can be romance, different kinds of genres. But we do that, so we constantly work with different film studios to launch their products. Next. So documentaries. So you're going to find a lot of different documentaries, and some of the people who speak in the conferences are actually part of the documentaries. Like Lois Damhoff is there. So Futures Literacy in the Netherlands, you can hear about her. So we have lots of contributions from the Netherlands, actually. So Gert Hofstede, Erasmus Millennius. So there are several documentaries that are social in nature, and then you're going to find some that are nature and some that are health. I'm going to cover them separately, but we create a catalog so that it's easy for you to look at something and quickly identify what you want to watch. So next is science fiction. So in science fiction, we have different movies, movies that are now versions of Star Wars. We have award-winning movies like Fantastic Planet. Some are cartoons. So we actually have some of our futurists like Dr. Tom Lombardo. He has a series of books and a series of workshops where he talks in depth about science fiction, what it is. And of course, then you'll find different science fiction movies going back from the very beginning. So the Trip to the Moon is actually the first recorded movie that we have in history. So we have that. And then we go through a variety of different movies. Then, of course, you get into the health. And in the health, as Deb was explaining, one of our focus, so magic medicine about, mushrooms. Then we have the cancer cure. Then we have stem cells. We have different versions of stem cells and treatments. Then we have a patient advocacy that actually Deb covers in the TV show, but we have documentaries about it. So getting a second opinion about, losing sleep, about eating disorders, about gluten, about, how our digestive, tract works, about longevity, about radiation. So you're going to find a good variety of documentaries that are associated with health and wellness. Now, then we have the documentaries that are associated with nature. So, the different continents, or Blue Planet is one of them, but, go to the different continents or visit Antarctica during the different, seasons of the year. And then you go visit, outside of our galaxy, inside of our solar system, outside of the solar system, visit different planets. And then we get into a wonderful collection of geology, so fossils and finding fossils and dealing with them and understanding, the rocks that we see somewhere on the beach, or volcanic rocks. So it's very, very educational. Then transitioning a little bit into the entertainment. So we have dramas. So dramas that are produced both here and so here in the US or abroad. So we have English movies, French movies, Czech movies, Chinese movies, Japanese movies that fit the drama bill. Then we have crime movies. We have the classics, of course. We have the film noir, the good old thrillers and detective stories that we love. Then, of course, it's almost Halloween time, so we have a good variety of horror movies, new and old, and from all walks of life and from different countries, not just from the U.S. So if you're in for different horror movies, the classics like the Little Shop of Horrors, to Frankenstein, Lady Frankenstein, The Curious, a Japanese movie. So and you're gonna find a little bit for everyone. Then we get into the classic movies, and that's a different collection. But again, like All About Eve and things like that. So the classics, the stuff that we come back and watch time and time again. Hey, you find it in the classic collection. Then we have a special session for films in Spanish, so they are spoken in Spanish. So the Kiss of Spider Woman is one of them, and Seven Rules of Power. So those are, sometimes in Spanish version of American movies, and sometimes they're Spanish movies or Mexican movies or Argentinian movies produced in Spanish. But of course, if you're trying to learn Spanish, and you can watch Dracula in English, and you can turn and watch it in Spanish as well, so you can see, how to bite someone's neck in Spanish and in English. So if you are so tempted. Then we have a special collection of foreign movies. So we go through French movies, German movies, Japanese, Chinese, Czech movies, Indian movies, English movies. So we have a good variety in there. Of course, we find some pros and we add them, like conversations with Fritz Lang, a German cinematographer. So we find a good variety of content in there. Then news. So our station broadcasts Democracy Now. So every day it's released in the morning. So Democracy Now broadcasts in the morning, in the afternoon. So we rebroadcast the news in the morning, in the afternoon. But again, it doesn't have to be at 6 o'clock or 9 o'clock. No, you pick it. So you can watch at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, the 6 o'clock news at 10 a.m. or the 6 a.m. news at 6 p.m. You name it, you choose it. The moment Democracy Now releases the news, we broadcast the news and we add it to video on demand. So you don't have to watch for the 6 o'clock news. Again, we will broadcast it at 6 o'clock. So 6 o'clock my time, not your time. So we broadcast it at 6 o'clock on the schedule. But again, you might be in a different time zone. You might be in another country altogether, or you don't feel like waiting until 6 o'clock. You want it at 10 a.m. or you want a 10 a.m. as opposed to 6 p.m. You decide. So whenever the news are available, we'll get it to you. So whatever you want to watch, whenever you want to watch, and whichever way you want to watch, we make it available. Then we got into our different brands. So what you see here is Cultura. So that's in Portuguese. So you have different documentaries in Portuguese. You have travel and tourism. We have food. We have music. We have specific shows. We have all of our. So you see contents that you had in our conference. So this, for example, this person won the Shark Tank Brazil, Amanda Momenti. So she talks about, of course, it's all in Portuguese, but that's our Portuguese brand of programming. We have, of course, our good friend Conceição, and she is from Portugal, and she talks a lot about competitive intelligence and literature. It's lovely, and of course the round tables that are in specific foreign language, they're housed here too. So you can find reflections in Portuguese with Maria Amalia Souza, so ONG, Amazon, indigenous communities, and etc. So you find the BRICS marketplace, which is happening next month. You find the roundtables in specific foreign language, they are housed here. So if you have a roundtable in Portuguese, of course, the conference is run in English. But if we have roundtables in other languages, which we do, then they go into the specific foreign language channel. In this case, we have several of the roundtables that are in Portuguese. And it's the same thing for Spanish. So we have, all the content that is in Spanish, the health content, the business content that is in Spanish, the talk shows that are in Spanish, the influencers that are speaking Spanish. So we can go and access that unique content. And as you saw from our presentation, we are in process of creating the French channel and the German channel. And of course, we want to create other channels as well. But I guess it's one step at a time. Then we get into the business education. So that's basically where you see the past conferences. So you see VC EuropeX, VC Latinx, VC APAX. So the specific contents are housed here. So again, if there was an expert, like a pitch coach from VC Latinx, and you'd like to see that, you can go back and watch it. Or if there is a specific, marketing or no, a money management presentation you'd like to watch, you can go back and watch it. And of course, hey, we have Joyce here as well. She was launching her book, and she had a hologram. So if you want to watch, her hologram, you can go and take a look. So this is our way of keeping the collection in one place, and that's part of the uniqueness. You're gonna find what you're gonna find what happened in the conferences, and then you have the stuff that Deb does, the workshops, the master classes, the courses. So they're all housed within the business education, and that's where you find it. Then we get into the specific shows. So Deb mentioned, a step about business. So if you want to watch, so Catherine Jones is coming back tomorrow. It's a wonderful show, and then you can watch it. So that was recorded in our studios in Chicago. So she's coming back tomorrow, so she's going to have a different take. But if you want to see what they said in prior shows, you can go in and take a look. And then that's the rest of the content. So you have reflections in Portuguese. You have It's Your Future with Joyce Joyce. So today she showed us a special, which is Dubai City of the Future. It's already in her collection, but if you want to go and visit, the future of living spaces, or if you want to see the APF's 20th celebration that was in the Museum of the Future in Dubai, or if you want to see the interview with Mads Wolf, which was who is the manager for the 25-hour hotel, sitting right across from the Museum of the Future. So it's all there. And then we have the augmented market VR channel. So lots of art and music together in VR. So that's where we're going forward. And then, of course, you have unique voices. And that is, again, going back to Iris Goldfeather. And that's her specific show for entrepreneurs who are LGBTQIA and or supporters and or allies. So it deals with specific issues. So again, diversity, inclusion, and variety of content. But again, if you feel like you want to watch the regularly scheduled programming, hey, follow our programming. And if you feel like you want to go to something specific and watch it, just use the VOD. Again, it is all free. News, business, entertainment, health and wellness in one place. I guess that kind of summarizes the value we bring, the problems we solve, and the platform. So be on the lookout for our new Android TV compatible solutions that are coming up. Right now, you can watch us on Roku TV, on Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV. You can watch us on any Android device via the Google App Store, and on any Apple device or iOS via the Apple App Store. Anything else that you would like to share about our solutions here?
I'm just thrilled that we're able to bring this kind of diversity in content and programming to the world, and very excited about what we've done so far. We've actually taken a lot of the content we've been developing over the last couple of years and made it available at no charge to anybody on these platforms. So please don't be shy. Come out, take a look, download the apps. We'd love to see you on the platform, and there's a lot more to come. So so stay tuned, and very soon you'll see Futee wearing or holding his pumpkin for Halloween, and we'll have some special movies and things for that holiday. So looking forward to what's ahead of us.
Okay, so in our closing, I'm going to show you what the app looks like. So if you give us a second, I will load. Just a second.
Okay.